Okay, so I'm starting to make a little bit of progress. Not very fast, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. So what I've managed to do is to get out of the way and of my, well, basically to give me some space for the time being before I can start actually organising what I want to keep. I've managed to get a load of PS2 stuff in near alphabetical order. Not as good as my OCD would like, but anyway, got some PS2, then the Calaxes, and then we put the PS3 in there, and we put some original Xbox games in that one, and PS4 there. And then I've just whacked some Xbox 360 up there out the way for the time being. And well, that definitely helps me a bit because I made a little bit of more, well, space to move. Then, and I need to repaint all this. I want to redo this bottom cupboard, but I've repurposed this and I've managed to put in a load of SNES games in these. So sort of, again, roughly A to Z with whatever I can chuck on the top. Put a load of stuff in there. That's quite handy. Stack in there as well. And a load in there. So, you know, that will help me a lot. So they're in a place at the moment. Not entirely still convinced that's how I want them, but it gives me, I can move stuff around. That's the thing. I couldn't get to it. I couldn't get to anything really. So let's put that on there. So that's that. So anyway, some genius stacking of Calaxes there. I'm going to paint that door, maybe put a big N64 sign on it or something like that. And I thought, okay, so while I'm at it, now I can start looking at stacks of stuff. So I've got some boxes that I want to have a look at, and I thought, well, while I go through them and see what's there, because I haven't seen inside those boxes for a number of years, thought you might be interested also. So let's have a look at stack number one. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be stack number one that I can try and get to. Yeah, the sooner I can just get rid of half this stuff and just make space, much better. So things that are in these boxes, I'm not entirely certain. I've got an idea what's in the big white box underneath that clear one, and I can see a few N64 games in the bottom box. Chances are that stuff that's been in this pile, boxed up for God knows how many years, is probably not required anymore. Or at least if it's been in a box, then I'm probably not as interested in it as I should be. But let's have a little look. Thought you might be interested. It could be garbage. Let's see. Okay, let's go and have a look now. I'll try and position this a little bit better so you don't feel sick. Okay, so, right. That's just rubbish, or at least stuff for the charity shop. Nothing I require. So, pretty obvious. I can see what's going on here. We've got, feels heavy. So, I'm expecting Game Boy of something in here. Oh, a couple of games. Let's see. Won't be wearing those headphones. Oh my god. Yuck. That has definitely had leaky battery at some point. Light Magic. Wow. Might be able to clean it up, maybe, but might not be anything I'm interested in. Super 4-in-1. That looks suspiciously fake. Yep. Space Invaders. Some kind of Super Tennis, maybe. But, yep, some kind of knockoff game. Probably interesting to test with. Strap? No. Okay. Let's see. I quite like the case. I mean, the size of it. I mean, there's more to this case than there is on a Switch or Switch 2 case. Aha. Please tell me batteries are not in there. Yep, good. Nice clean inside. What I didn't want to see was batteries that have been sat out here for ages that could have been damaged. That wouldn't be very good at all. And Super Mario Land. Come on. Don't like forcing anything. Oh my god. Maybe I will have to force it. Jeez. Spot welded. I'll worry about that one later. Buttons all feel alright. That's really annoying. Wow. Okay, we'll leave that for the time being so it don't damage you. Instruction booklet. Ooh, so Mario 2 must be knocking around somewhere. Okay, no other things for that. Yeah, I want to keep that because I like me different coloured Game Boys. I've got a few. I think I've got like a purple one. I know the first ever one I got was the original, and then I got the silver Game Boy Pocket, which, to be honest, was the one I loved the most. I don't know where that's hidden. So, okay, let's see what's in here. All right, this is one I think I knew or was expecting to see what was in here. And it's a very yellow, oh my god, Atari 520 ST. Bit of damage to it there. That is something I really don't want to keep, truth be told. No, I don't need that, although, has it got any cables? Yes is the answer. Ballistics. It did look like it said ball sacks, but let's go with ballistics. I prefer to play ballistics than ball sacks. Psygnosis, weren't they from Liverpool? Yes, Psygnosis Liverpool. Let's do all the Sony stuff. Look at the packaging with the blooming cassette box, but for it's a bit cheap in it. Ballistics. What else we got in here? Eliminator. Gauntlet 2. Some controllers. Do they feel good? Maybe, maybe not. So I'm going to have to do it. What is that? Batman joystick. I wonder if that will work in. Another joystick. What are we talking there? Spectra Video. Wow, genius, Nick. Okay, what we got in here? Million games or copies, Backlash, and truth be told, I don't know what any of these games like because I've never played them. I just acquired this at some point and never used it. This is one of my impulse buys. Bionic Commando. Look at the cover on that. Star Trek: The Rebel Universe. And what we got there? Black Lamp. Jesus. I could have gone wrong. Okay, and let's see. And then a stack of copies, which God knows what's on them. Highway Patrol, Badlands, Airborne Rangers. To be honest with you, whether they work or not is another matter. But yeah, I think the Atari is a definite to go. I think I need to plug it in. I didn't see. Right, just an RF lead. Okay. Well, I can test that out quite easily. RF lead and kettle lead for the mains. Check that out, and I think that is definitely one to try and sell as soon as possible, because that's a lot of space taken up. So let's get that one out the way, and let's move on to the next box. Okay, let's have a look in box number 2. Could be games. It might just be a lot of nonsense, but let's see. Okay, cotton wool buds. Hundreds of these. Never can have enough of them for cleaning cartridges. Rubbish bags. Go in the bin. Boomstick bag. Okay, so what we got in here? Some N64 games. Low G Man. I always think Low G. Maybe I always think you're playing as Warren G and you got to chase after Nate Dogg or something. Okay, Squished. Criminal. Well, let's look at it this way. It would have been squished when I got it. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't have done that, but that needs boxing up. Likewise, no internal thing, but about another millionth copy of Warzone. Sonic skin for DS Lite. Is that new? Well, not required. Simpsons puzzle. I'm not a jigsaw person, to be honest with you, but there you go. See, pick that up at some point. Aha. Okay. Oh look, another wrestling game. Box only, but I'll have the game about 10 times somewhere. Now I do remember getting this. I got a load of stuff many years ago off some chap in Manchester. It's pretty cool, and it's quite new as well. I don't think that's ever been used. Quite retro. Yeah, I like that. But am I going to wear a man bag? Is it a man bag? It's a bit sexist, really. It could be anything, really. Put your discs in there. Are they in as a... Wow. So the discs, they are actually a holder kept in there. That's quite funky. I like that. Presumably put your controller on there. Yeah, I like that. But I don't think I'm ever going to use it. As much as I like it, that doesn't mean I should keep it. So I think I will sell that. I think. What else have we got here? Another bag. Oh, well, there's the NWO WCW game. Zelda. Actually, do you know what? The outer box isn't that bad. Just hasn't got the innards and manual, but that needs putting in a case. Try and keep it a bit better. What have we got here? Turok Dinosaur Hunter. I did like Turok as a game. Box is a bit cabbaged. Although, it does look like you've got instruction manuals in there as well. Yeah. Not exactly in the greatest. Oh my word. Either somebody used that a lot, or someone didn't care. Let's sort that out. Turok 2. Do you know, cartridges that are different colours from back in the day, really, Turok 2, I think, that's the only one I can think of. Is there any others you can think of that are black cartridges for an N64? I mean, the obvious one I can think of for the SNES has got to be Killer Instinct. And I don't think I've come across any other coloured ones in SNES. I do like that. I don't see why. I wonder why they didn't do that. I mean, it looks pretty cool. These days, you do about 10 different colours. You could sell every copy to someone. Again, pretty yellow SNES. Needs a good clean. I'm not into doing the whitening. I just think it's too much hassle, and unfortunately, I mean, you got to keep them out the sun, but I'm afraid it's just when it goes like that, that's the way it is. A shame, but I'm not spending ages trying to whiten stuff. Wow. Oh, that doesn't look good. Is that? Oh, I don't like the sticky on there. That suggests to me something's leaked out of somewhere. Is that leaked out of that? Maybe saying goodbye to that. Now, Mega Drive. That looks so terrible. The feel of that. Just never really liked the look of the Mega Drive, and I always felt a bit tinny to me. And obviously, with it being a Mega Drive, it's got its official Nintendo seal of approval on there for some reason. Now, if someone can help me, that's got purple on there. What was the difference between these ones and the ones that are either, is it just a gold finish or silver finish? Was that just a model variant on the standard one? And 64 standard. Okay, I'll have a million cables of that somewhere. Shouldn't drop that. What we got here? That feels all right. That doesn't, does it? Yeah. Hated turbo controls on any controller. Not on me Super Nintendo ones. I never felt the turbo. It was cheating. That was the first thing. It was cheating. Telegames mains adapter, 9 volts. Probably used on the Sega. Okay, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Let's have a look in the next box. Let's see what's there. Actually, do you know what I noticed? Right. Presumably the difference is the fact that you've got the video lead hardwired out the box. Normally, you've got your own RF adapter you plug in the back. External out, AV out, and then just power supply. So that's the first one I've seen in the Mega Drives with that. US, Canada, Hong Kong. Do we think? Not sure. Well, it's obviously not a Genesis, so I wonder if it's an Asian one. But then if it's Asian, why is it all written? Right, a bit of a Google on that one. Okay, but likewise, anyone can tell me why, but certainly that's the noticeable thing I can see is the RF lead hardwired out the back of it. Your comments are appreciated. One last thing as well, this HMV adapter for something. Could it be through the N64? Maybe. I'd be inclined to say it's an N64 rumble pack, maybe. Don't know. I'll have to look at that one. Okay, again, anyone got one of these? Anyone seen one? I'm sure the internal battery's died by now, but might be able to change that. Okay, let us know. What is it? Your help is needed. Again, please. Okay, let's go have a look in the red box. Right, that's just some material, which is nice for wrapping around things. Don't need that. Well, we do. Okay, this is more like it. So, the Dusty Master System. Honestly, I generally prefer the look of this Master System to the more rounded shaped. I think this just looks better. It looks more futuristic, even though there's an argument to say it looks dated now. But I think it's just a much better system. It just looks so cool. That to me is a winner. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, so now Commodore 64, or actually Commodore 16, I suppose pretty much anything. Does it work? Can you tell me, do these work in 64, VIC-20s, 16s? They all look similar style to me as far as I remember. But I was not, as I was a Spectrum guy, I never really had any Commodore stuff. Dreamcast controller, not in great condition. Right, that Commodore suggests there's a 64 in it. SNES controller, wrapped like that for some weird reason. N64 power supply. Right, I must admit, I saw this and I'm thinking, is it for the Mega Drive? Is it for the Master? No, the Mega CD? I don't know. I'm thinking you got the Mega Drive, the side bit off it, and is that like a dust cover or something? I don't know. It seems quite useless, really. Definitely something slides in here. I can see that. But there's no branding on it of anyone. What is it? Anyone know? Is it just a piece of plastic that needs to go in the recycling bin? Or do I need to keep it to attach to something? Your help is required, please. Okay, copyright strike. Now, I was only ever used to tapes, particularly on the 64 and 64. What am I about? I was only used to tapes with the single player Spectrum, and in the occasions that I did get a chance to play on a Commodore 64, my mates only had cassettes, or at least a few people know, and it was usually everyone seems to play Ghostbusters. That seems to be the tape of the year that everyone was playing. But yeah, I'm not familiar with the cartridges really. So some instructions in there. Were the cartridges the same standard of graphics? Were they better? Were they on par? I can't see them being any worse. It wouldn't make any sense. Right, this feels like something that's trapped. Ah, okay. Let's dig something else out first. 64 again. Got a few of these. Loose. I know I've got a stack of spare thumbsticks. I still think this is the greatest controller ever. Truly do. I just think the N64 controller was just phenomenal. Although you never ever really use it like that. And the yellow buttons were a bit crappy. But generally, for playing a game, I just thought it was so comfortable. And I much prefer it to the GameCube, which everyone raves over the handling of the GameCube controller. But it just didn't do it for me. Blah, blah, blah. Let's have a look in here. Ah, now. Okay. So, Pokemon 64 controller. Bit dusty, but that is not for. I think that's for the normal N64 shape Pokemon, not the larger, wider N64. Oh, so actually, chances are, is this stuck? Another SNES. you might ask, what am I doing with so many SNES and stuff? My theory always used to be that things break, and I don't want to be left with games and not have any spare controllers. But now, really, I could break them weekly and I still would be all right. C64 game system, Fiendish Freddy, Instance of Limbo's Quest. Do you know, that feel, Commodore business machines, I mean, it almost looks fake, but I don't think it is, truth be told, looking at that. Okay. Ooh, hot stuff. Looking for some hot stuff. Okay. I wonder what different things I could work on. Right, okay. Let's have a look in here. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, right, okay. So, again, gathering a bit of dust there. That is not the original dust cover. But, again, needs a little bit of a clean up, but at least we know that is what that controller is for. Very nice. Great success. Okay. I can see the 64 at the bottom of the box. Not the 64. Commodore 64. Doesn't help Commodore 64 and Nintendo 64. Oh, very confusing. NES Advantage controller. When you truly want to destroy your friends, prove you're the best. The thing with the NES controller has to be one of the most uncomfortable controllers known to man. After an intensive gaming system, you would definitely have a Nintendo finger on the NES. Just the square button, just those two buttons, A and B, it was awful. But this is great. The only downside, I have to say, with things like this is that they're not really, you really do need to have them placed down, but then when they're placed down, they don't feel right. So there is a pro and a con. The advantage, you sure it's not NES cheat? But yes, like it a lot. I'm going to keep that. I want that. And I do remember N64 adapter. Yes, I do remember getting this. Now, this is a Radio Shack TRS-80. And I know I tested it when I got it. Is that melted? It has, you know. Kind of got that hot there. Now, is that carbon? Got a horrible feeling that this is melted in the box. I mean, it shouldn't be in the sun, but it must have got warm at some point. Unless it was like that. But that's annoying. But yeah, I tested this. TRS-80, I've forgotten the nickname it had, but these were basically sold in Tandy in the UK. Tandy was basically the same as Radio Shack, and it was a great shop, Tandy. It was mainly sort of electronics components and bits and pieces, stuff like that. You'd get gaming stuff, but it was a bit more techie, more project orientated, I would say, rather than an actual computer shop. But I know I've tested this out, and it's basic computer language, and it's pretty cool. I do like it, but do I want it? Do I really need to keep this? Let's see. We've got a reset button on the back, RF out, channel 36. Is that telling me you can adjust that? I don't think so. Cassette out, serial port, joystick, separate connections for that. That'd be interesting. See if I can get some games for that. Oh, and a cartridge slot on the side as well. My God, size the cartridge. That must be huge. Okay. Right, we'll be testing this again in the very near future. So you will get to see it. Hopefully working. Better I'd work, because I'll be quite upset if it doesn't. Right, that's the cable for that to connect to cassette. Definitely, I have got cassette decks, which are fine. Oh my god. Commodore 64. I've returned. Oh, very, very clever. Let's see. Come on. Ooh, it's a bit dirty. What we got in here? Please note, your mains lead may not be fitted with a plug. Oh, you wouldn't be allowed that nowadays. How would it not be fitted with a plug? Jesus. Okay. Wow. Again, a bit dirty. Needs a bit of a clean. And I won't lie, I think I would have preferred it if that was the more traditional shape of Commodore. But obviously, if that's Terminator 2, we're probably looking at about 1991, 92. 1991 on there. It's probably 92, isn't it? Games cartridge, Judgment, Terminator 2, and Modern Music Maker System. Again, Tandy, £99. That actually seems quite a bargain. But again, 1991, people probably, at that point, were getting a Super Nintendo or Mega Drive. Not necessarily Mega Drive 2, probably would have been Mega Drive 1. Or was that slightly after that? Let's see, the opening. Let's see. Okay, well, you got Mega Drive 2, controller, RF aerial, main supply. Looks like we've got instruction manual as well, which is actually in rather good nick. Yes. Okay. Possibly swap that over for a different. Yeah, it hasn't got the side panel on it. Somebody's obviously used that at some point on a Mega CD. That's what I was thinking about, that thing, the adapter on the end. Was that the right thing? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. Let's see. That's quite nice, like that. Okay. See, I think stuff like that, just I want to keep boxed items like that. I could do with a bit of a good clean up. Little bit of clean up. Let's see what we can do with that, and let's have a look what's in the blue box underneath that. See if there's any goodies in there. Interesting. Well, it's interesting to me. You probably switched off at this point if it's not interesting for you. Right, what's in the blue box? Let's have a little look. I was going to try and lift it, make it a bit easier for me, but it could not be done. So, let's see. Okay. Empty case. Now, this is the problem. I keep things like this, but what's the point? I'm out. I mean, it's knackered now anyway. Bin. That is going in the bin tonight. And this is my problem. I wasn't getting rid of stuff. Oh, what? Oh, deluxe pack for the light. Do you know, the first thing I was looking at that and thinking it was going to be some kind of Wii adapter, but then it would be tiny. Has that got everything in it? Yes, it does look like it has everything in it. Am I going to use it in the car? No. What has it got with it? 4 cases, carry case, stylish pens, power pack. which looks like it's just the car one, or in-car power adapter. So you just get a normal power pack. Actually, that's not bad. That might come in handy for spares. Okay, let's keep that. This feels like an empty DS box. Yep. And truth be told, I can't remember who in the family had a white one. Because I know I didn't. Because I've got a black one and a red one and what else? Pink one as well, I think. Anyway, okay, DS Lite box. That might come in handy at some point for some reason. Again, this is the why you're keeping it. Master System, not a Master System, it is Mega Drive. A bit dusty again. Okay. Yep, it won't be using that anytime soon. Ooh, okay. So this looks like a box of 1,000,000 cables. And we've got a lot of boxes of 1,000,000 cables around the house. Okay, let's try and drag that out. This is not a particularly exciting box. Oh my god. Yeah, quick glance through here. It's basically HDMI leads, video leads, mains leads. What's that? I haven't got a clue. Okay. Stuff in there. Ooh, okay. So, Pokemon Colosseum GameCube carry case. And, truth be told, that feels quite heavy. Power supply. Anything in here? Video cable. SCART adapter on the end. Convenient. And what have we got in the main bit? Feels like, oh, do you know what? I can see it. Oh, do you know what? I never even noticed the handle is the handle. Oh man, you idiot. That's very clever. Bit rubbish if you don't want to use it for that purpose though. GameCube. And I'll tell you now, I remember looking at CEX not too long ago. They had the Resident Evil 4, the dust inside there. They had the controller. 75 quid they wanted just for the controller. And I was like, nope, I ain't paying that. That is just way too much. So a power supply, video. Okay, that's quite nice. Do I keep it? Do I not? Decisions. PlayStation 1. There's standard ports on it. Okay. And then what we got here? Bit of a knackered GameCube box. What colour have we got in here? I'm gonna guess it's, yeah, it's a purple one. And there's mains leads and controller inside. That's not actually in a bad condition. I think that's all right. That box may be hammered, but the machine, I'm not talking any fade in there. Okay. Is there a controller in there? Power supply. Nope, controllers must be elsewhere. Right, okay. And now I've got to do something with these. I seem to have stacks of these things, the joysticks. I'm not too sure whether some of them are Kempston joysticks, which would be handy for using with my Spectrum, but would they also work for Commodore? There's another one there. It doesn't feel very good. Not sure about that. Could be some recycling going on here. Now, PS3. There is a chance one of these could be my son's because, foolishly, he decided, I'm going to keep it standing up. I said, don't keep it standing up. You need to have it lying flat down because you'll knock it over one day. You knocked it over, hard drive, boom, gone. Waste of time and money and an original Xbox, which seems to weigh a hell of a lot more than I remember. I love the Xbox, but I've got to say that draw mechanism was awful. Just I think about 3 of them with the mechs have gone on them. And then I did have one that was converted and I was able to put stuff on, etc. And then I must have reset it and then I could never get it back again, even though it did have some kind of boot up disc. But that's something to consider again in the future. I wouldn't mind having one of them set up, or do we just leave that in the past and maybe use an Xbox One as a, a system, just load of games on it and stuff. That might be a little bit more convenient. Okay, I think for today that will do with this stack of games and stuff. And I think we'll move on to another box next time. But in between, I'm going to look at some games, see if we can get a little bit of review on that Tandy computer, which, if I recall now, it was a Coco, or it had a nickname of the Coco. So I want to plug that in again and see if I can program anything. Maybe I can download some kind of program, possibly something to run it. Let's see. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'm going to get rid of some things here. I'm going to, again, just try and help myself just box some more things up. Seeing what we've got, and we're going to get rid of a load. And there's a glass cabinet next to me, which I can see. It's got a load of various PC games in, which I just get shut them because they mean nothing to me. Vienna. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye.